Hi, YouTube. It's your favorite indie author, Kay McCoy, and I did not record last week because I had nothing to say. Last week, I got hit with a case of SAD. So, for those of you that aren't familiar with that acronym, it is seasonal depression, and I do get it. And I was expecting it, but I was not expecting it last week. But yeah, so and again, I didn't really have anything to say. And like I said in my previous video, I really only want to come on here when I have something to say. So yeah, don't don't hold that against me. Um, but yeah, needless to say, I'm here and I have an update. And really, I just wanted to focus more in on what I talked about in my previous video, where I talked generally about what I had planned for 2025. But here, I want to give you more of an outline. And I am using Zoom for those of you that still do not know that. I think it's pretty clear that I'm using Zoom. So, what I'm going to do is bring up, because I actually made, and this is mainly for myself, but also for anyone that's following me over on Substack. This is pretty much what you guys will see going forward from there. So I wanted to share this with you as well. As soon as I pull it up, oh, here it is. Okay. So I made a list. And no, I will not be checking it twice. No, all jokes aside, though, I did make a list because it's just easier for me to keep things in track. Yeah, check. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, keep things in check as I go forward. So here is said list behind me. Well, that way. Ooh, we'll just turn around. So I'm going to go over each one of these things one by one, because that's what today's video is about. Like I said, I have an outline. I am one of those authors who uses outlines. I don't always use them for the stories that I write, but I do make them because it does help me in some form or fashion. Anywho, here is the video, or sorry, here is the outline that I have for this year. So, first one, quarter 1 book release. So let's get into that. Quarter book. Let's see. So for 2025, yes, I do plan on releasing a book towards the end of this quarter. It may be the second, like the beginning of quarter 2. Um, and this is a near and dear story to me. And the reason why I've taken my time when it comes to publishing this is I know how this works now. This is my first rodeo. I've published before, and I know once I release this story, it's up for consumption, genuinely speaking. Um, I'm not too sure I want to release it just yet, because I know that. And even though I've gone through and I'm editing it now, and I will have manuscript evaluation, I should say, um, overall, and I'm slowly sharing it with more people to prepare myself for releasing it. It's near and dear to me because it's my first ever novel attempt, and I'm nervous. I mean, I see the improvement compared to when I first wrote the story. I first wrote the story back in, I want to say, was it, ooh, I'm going to say 2015 was when I first wrote the story. So, like a decade ago. And it was obviously incomplete. And not last year, but the previous year, I had more time with my work schedule because I went working part time because I had a lot of stories that I wanted to write and I wanted more time to write. So I literally worked like part time for the whole year to do that. And yeah, I think she's ready. She's ready. I just need to accept the fact that once this story is out there, it's no longer mine because I my first audience is myself. And I really like her. I like her, and I'm hoping that she will inspire or motivate someone else to change their circumstances like I did. I'm hoping she encourages someone to pick up the pen and write their story and go out and live it to the fullest. So yeah, we're going to release her towards the end of this first quarter, beginning of the second quarter. And I'm excited about that. So that brings me to the second thing here. Substack, I like you. You're fun. So I'm going to hang out over on Substack this year. Yeah, that's where I'm going to be. And I'm not mad about that because I've been looking for an online platform for the most part where I can combine all of my things because I do a lot of things. Before I officially became an author, I worked in mixed media. I like learning new platforms, diving into forums, communities. I love testing out new areas and new faucets of creativity. I like stretching that limit. I don't talk about it as much because I know sometimes my method can seem very strange to people and it may come across as me not caring, although that's largely in part to my anxiety. When I feel that things are getting away from me or that I'm getting lost in translation, I will become almost dismissive and very short. um, so I tend to kind of go back into myself, if that makes sense. Even as I say it, I'm like, wait, what does that mean? But yeah, I kind of revert back into myself. So that way I can think of a better way to illustrate or explain what it is that I mean. And then I will come back. But that doesn't really translate well online. So I am going to hang out over here on Substack and figure it out more. Um, I will obviously be on other parts of the internet. Those of you that are subscribed to the story stations, you will still get access to me first. But Substack is where it's at for me this year. I really like it over there. So I'm going to focus on building a community over on Substack. If you haven't followed me over there already, please do so. And if you really love me and you really want to see where I take things this year, please go ahead and consider a donation because it's very much appreciated. I am fortunate in the fact that as an author, it doesn't cost much to sustain myself yearly. I know for other authors, they're in like the three or four figures, but it doesn't cost me that much. So I'm able to finance the actual work that I do with my job. I should say jobs because I have more than one. But it does help to have a little bit of help and support from readers and people who just genuinely want to see me win. It's encouraging, especially when I spend a lot of time alone, which I do like, but it's nice to know that someone out there on the internet is like, hey, I see you. I think what you're doing is great. And here is my way of supporting you. So obviously you can always repost and like and comment and interact with me, especially over on Substack. Please interact with me over there if you're following me. I checked the other day and I have almost 10 followers. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm looking forward to engaging with you guys and talking more there. So but yeah, you can show your support in any way. But I do appreciate those monetary supports because it's like, oh wait, this is real. People are counting on me to give them more books. So yeah, that definitely is a motivator. Speaking of books, that I'm very nervous about. So here, this is production and releases, and it's not for books. It is for audiobooks. Yes. This year I am taking, this is probably my most ambitious goal for the year. Not one, not two, but I am working on three short story audiobooks for 2025. A few years ago, I got bit with the audiobook bug. I've had people throughout my life always tell me that I should give, narration and voice acting a shot. And I didn't start taking them seriously until I want to say about 3 years ago. So I've been secretly kind of just learning about audiobook narration and things like that. But what really solidified this for me, um, I think yeah, it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. Last year I had not one but three phenomenal voice actors read scenes from The New Era, which was my release from last year. And these women, they like straight just knocked it out the park. I love the choices that they made with these characters, and I really could see myself saying, "Yo, maybe I should really give this a shot and see if I could do something similar to this." Also, I want to release The New Era as an audiobook. And in order to pay these fabulous women, I need to get capital to do that. So I started following them. I made sure to sign up for their newsletters and things like that so I can keep in touch with them, mainly so that I can keep track a little bit of their schedule so that way I could hire them in the future. And know what and know how much I would have to pay them and all of that stuff to do that. But audiobook, it's a whole new beast. I'm super excited to be entering this realm, not only as an author looking to publish their own audiobook, but as an author who is now switching gears and is now working as a narrator as well as a voice actor. It's really fun over here. Again, I'm super excited, but I'm also super nervous. So, yeah, I'm going to be releasing three short stories that were previously submitted as anthologies, but now that those anthologies has in, let me try this again. Now that the contracts for the anthologies have ended, I want to go ahead and tell those stories in another medium. And my ultimate goal from this is that I will generate enough income from these three audiobooks to finance the funding that I will need for the new era. So that way I can hire these voice actors to bring those characters to life fully. Also, I have two other voice actors in mind for the male roles for the new era, but I'll be talking about that more over on not only Substack, but also Buy Me a Coffee / Buy Me a Beer because I'm an adult and every once in a while I want a beer. So, yeah, I haven't updated Buy Me a Beer and since December, so I'm gonna get to work on that. But yeah, that is this is the this is the one that's scary because I always try to do something that I know I can do, something that I'm hesitant in doing, and something that scares me a little bit. This is definitely in that area that scares me. So again, that's my goal for audiobooks. And then here you have book releases for the third quarter. This doesn't scare me. However, the book does because it is it's a story that I have written. Again, it's an older story that I try. It was like one of my first novel attempts, but this was my first novel attempt for Asian men, Black women. And little old naive me didn't think there was an audience for that. How wrong was I? How wrong was I? Okay. I know I was wrong. I know I was wrong. But also this was my first attempt before magic, actually. Fun fact. This was my first attempt at telling a story with multiple female characters. So I'm really excited about this book. And for me, it has a surprise ending. If you know, you know. You've been following me for a while. I'm going to say it's safe to assume you know what I write. And this one has a surprise ending because it's literally the opposite of most of my stories. We're just going to leave it at that for now. If you want more, please follow me over on Substack. Again, you can also subscribe to the story stations, and I will give you guys, again, you always get first dibs on how my mind works. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. And then, speaking workshops, spoiler alert, I really like doing these. They are literally like I don't know how to describe it. It's interesting because in my daily life, I attend speaking engagements. I participate in speaking engagements. I talk to people a lot, and so I was nervous about combining what I do for my 9 to 5 with authoring, but I realized I'm good at that too. So yeah, I definitely wanted to pursue that more. And so I'm being more intentional when it comes to speaking engagements and not only attending them as an author, but also speaking. Um, it is something that I love doing with authors, and it allows me a way to continue to learn about the craft and the business side of things as far as an authorship goes, and in a space that works for me. Because I do like writing, but I also like learning about how things work, like small press, even marketing to an extent. I understand it better by learning it and then trying to apply it. I want to learn more about how to improve craft and just all those little nuances that you don't think about as an author who just writes and seeks to have your things published. Like I love learning more about the publishing world itself, as well as social media and even to some extent like platforms, how they work, algorithms, even though it sometimes gives me a headache. I do like learning about them. So speaking engagements is definitely on my list of things to do this year. Trust me. I already have something in place for March, and I'm looking to do a few engagements and possibly workshops for this year. My goal is to do at least two workshops a year. And when I say do, I mean the actual speaking as an instructor. I also will be attending as many events as possible virtually. So that is also a goal for mine. So yeah, I'm excited about that. The speaking engagement that I have planned for later this year is in March, and it's the virtual spring writing retreat, and this is held with the Author Transformation Alliance. So if anyone is interested in that, I will be sure to share the link below in this video. And that actually brings us to the end of today's video. And I kept it sweet. Okay, like I said, I'm getting into the habit of long form videos, but like I said, I want to make sure that I do that slowly just to see if you guys are still interested in that. Because when I first started on YouTube, I fell in love with short form, and the people that are still with me like short form. So if I can find a medium between short form and those people who love long form, I would do that. But also, the commercials on YouTube have started to make the Dollar Tree DVD bin look real attractive lately. So I don't necessarily know how that's going to work. I think this, and the thing is, I know what I'm about to say is very controversial. So I'm trying to phrase it as politely as I can. YouTube is not the space where I come to make money. Having said that, I don't want to leave money on the table. And I also don't want anyone else to potentially use anything that I post on YouTube to make money without my permission, without my consent. So, having said that, I am still on the track towards having my content monetized here on YouTube. And it's mainly to keep other people from doing it and me not profiting from it. So, yeah, even though I don't like commercials on YouTube, the algorithm and just social media at large, the studying that I've done on it, I have to go with the tide because if I try to turn my back to it, it's going to crush and submerge me underwater and I will drown. So having said that, I would love it if you all would follow me. Um, and let me know what your thoughts are on the commercials here on YouTube. And let me know if you are an author and you also have an outline for 2025. I would love to hear it in the comments. And if you're a reader and you just came by to support me and say, hey, how you doing? Thank you so much. And for everyone else, it's been real. Thank you for watching. And like I said before, go ahead and follow me on all social medias and especially over on Substack because I really like it over there. And that is where you will see the most of me. I also plan on doing audio snippets where I just check in with you guys over there on there. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited about Substack in case you can't tell. So, yeah, this is my weekly roundup video for January. So, my next video will be in, let me not lie, I'm looking at the calendar now. So, my next video will be the first week of February. And I'm saying this because next week, Next week, y'all president is getting inaugurated, and I am not going to be on online that much. I'm practicing the ultimate self-care next week where I just disconnect from the internet. So I know I'm not going to make a video next year. I'm being very upfront about that. And yeah, and then I won't have much to check in with you guys on until until the first Friday of February. So that will be the next video. Will be the first week of February. That I can say because that gives me enough time. But in the meantime, again, you can follow me on all social medias. Mainly Substack is where I'm going to be. And I hope you all continue to take care of yourselves, continue practicing self care, and continue reading, continue writing, continue loving the process. I am Author K. McCoy, and I am now signing off. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.